Yes, we're starting the podcast broadcast early this morning. So we got 90-minute podcast broadcast. It's going to be jam-packed. You can join us, youtube.com/bevegan or any of our social media pages because we are streaming live and we're joined by special guests this hour. And this hour, we're joined by Fred and Jordan from the Saaf organization. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Yeah, as we're getting all situated here on the podcast. Now, we're going to be talking about the big event that they're having at the Slaughterhouse on Saturday. The event that Weirdo is, in fact, Jello Wrestling her significant other at.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a big deal. And I don't know if that's the headlining Jello Wrestling match or there's going to be several Jello Wrestling matches lined up. Is this like a professional wrestling card, guys? Like, what do you got lined up for this, Fred?
No, we have a total of 6 teams that will come in and wrestle. There's nothing.
Wow.
6 teams.
It's supposed to be for fun.
Yeah. No,
it's not a competition.
It's a friendly competition, Fred.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they want to compete, and they want to have the bragging rights of saying that they won the Jello Wrestling. But at the same time, it's going to be fun. But you want a W.
Prize for the top fundraiser.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is.
Mm-hmm. For the top fundraiser, yeah. And I mean, I'm worried because I'm wrestling Scarlett, and it's like, yes, I do CrossFit because she brought that up last night. She's like, but you do CrossFit. I'm like, listen, I could be strong and have zero technique. You wrestled in high school, ma'am.
Okay.
I am screwed.
Potentially.
I'm gonna drown in Jello.
Well, look, wrestling, especially in Jello, is an endurance game. You want to have good cardio. And so I think cardio is on your side, but technique is definitely on her side.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. And, with 6 different matchups, it's going to be a lot of fun. What a great way to raise money for a fantastic organization. Now, do you have like a belt that is awarded to the winner? Because you should do that.
Well, that's part of the secret, I think.
Okay.
See?
Now you got to go for the belt. Is it bracket style? It should be a bracket. Oh, man.
He's going to expect me to come home or come here with a belt on Monday.
At least a trophy, something.
Yeah.
Participation ribbon.
I'll send you home with some Jello. You're welcome. We'll do it that way.
Well, we actually have one of the streamers. They want me to wear a thong, and then we're going to auction it off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm willing to do that.
Yes, we do have creepy streamers.
Cold.
It is,
It's cold.
It's
Yeah, it's gonna be goosebumpy.
It's a good time. Who doesn't want to do Jello?
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to tell you all about that information, how you could participate to help raise money for the Saaf organization, everything here in just a few minutes. And of course, we're going to be talking about it on the podcast broadcast as well. But we did tease a confession session, and it is Wednesday, so we should break down into that. So Weirdo, I know you've been getting anonymous emails all throughout the week. Go ahead and share some confessions from our listeners so they can release that burden off their chest.
All right, we're on the FM side now, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay, good. Just double checking. All right, so I have classic resting bitch face.
Okay.
I am okay with it because I'm actually quite a happy person, but random people are always telling me to smile or lighten up, and it may never happen. And I just tell them my dog died. Then they leave me alone.
That's the everyday excuse.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, just that awkward interaction. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's a good, a good response to diffuse any kind of situation and conversation. I mean, how do you continue a conversation beyond, oh, I'm so sorry? Then what? So yeah.
I mean, I think it's a great tactic because I'm sure Jordan can relate, always being told, you should smile more.
Yeah.
No.
I have chronic RBF, and when people come up and they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's just my face.
Right.
And then I make them feel bad, and then they're like, oh, okay. And then they do that slow, awkward back away, and I'm like, thank you for making this uncomfortable.
Because you inadvertently you're like, oh.
It's just how I look, but I'm actually very approachable. So.
All right, that's fair. Well, next time you could just say, yeah, my dog died. And that way they're not like, oh, it's your face that's wrong. I'm sorry.
Thank you, random confession, for helping me.
What else you got here, Weirdo?
All right. Spent 45 minutes meditating on the porcelain throne, doing my business, watching TikToks.
Yep.
When I got up, my legs had gone numb, causing me to fall face first, hitting my head on a cabinet, giving myself a black eye and a concussion.
Ouch.
Told my wife I tripped over the cat to save embarrassment. That was 5 years ago and still have not told anybody.
Wow. I'm glad that you lifted that burden from your chest. I will say this, very relatable. Has anyone been on the toilet so long with their legs are numb and you fall over? Yeah, you just end up hurting yourself in that process. I feel like I'm gonna break a leg one of these days because when you don't feel your legs and they're that clearly numb, you put your weight on them too wrong.
I did that the other day coming out of the bathroom. I was like, I gotta lay down. And my boyfriend's like, are you not feeling well? I was like, I can't feel my legs. And he's like, oh my God.
No, That's good. I can relate to that too. Like sometimes you just want to lay down afterwards because you're exhausted. So I put in so much work in there. You don't understand. Okay, that's too much information. Let's continue.
Unless you fall asleep.
Yeah. My husband did that the other day. I was like knocking on the door. He's like, yeah. And I was like, did you fall asleep? No, I just got lost in my game. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you fell asleep. Yeah.
By the way, this is 2:00 in the afternoon. Sorry, honey. Anyway, so this one I relate to because I am so paranoid about being like framed for a murder I didn't commit. So whenever a hair drops from my head in public, I make sure to pick it up to ensure nobody steps on it and carries it to a crime scene.
Oh, very smart. Yeah. I mean, nowadays it's all about that DNA technology.
Yes.
So you can get framed just by shedding.
Yeah, it was like a phobia, and I wish there was like an actual term for that, but maybe there is. But I watch way too much true crime stuff, and that's like a thing I think about way more than I'm willing to admit.
Really? So, Jordan, did you write all these confessions for us this morning? You're relating so hard to everything.
We'll talk about that later. So.
She's just sliding in my DMs all day.
Yeah, here's a fun stat about murder porn documentaries and shows and podcasts. Since they've been grown in popularity, actually, it's increased the number of unsolved murders being solved.
Yeah.
Back when it, before the podcast craze started growing, 30, there was like 2 out of 3 murders went unsolved.
Right.
Now it's about 50-50. So it's increasing, and all these in-depth podcasts and television shows are helping investigators solve these crimes.
Well, and getting attention to it is like going to be the biggest thing of why they can justify the funding and everything of like, oh, well, now this is getting public attention and public pressure. Like, we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Also, amateur detectives like giving different perspectives that these guys that have been on the job for 20 years who are jaded now get these little insights.
Well, and they get too deep into it. Like if you look at Gabby Petito, I think was the most recent one where it was podcast people who helped solve that. It was because somebody saw a clip on a video of somebody else. But like how deep in the internet do you have to be before you find that? That's wild.
And the sleuths out there, they are way deep. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's good. You got any more confessions?
I got one last one. All right. Before meeting me, my boyfriend, he slept around and he's always been upfront about it. I don't begrudge him for his past.
Okay.
What's weird is how often his father brings up his son's flings, even going as far as talking about those different women's sexiness. I've asked him to stop and he's not. I don't know what to do. What do I do?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's an advice territory here that I don't know if we get paid enough to give. I understand the father's kind of living vicariously through his son's accomplishments. Maybe the father married young and just didn't have that experience.
Maybe.
And celebrates it a little too hard.
Yeah.
Or it's very strange. And all you could do is keep saying, hey, you need to stop talking about this, or start talking about the father's wife's sex life and be like, man, how many guys did she bang? Remember when you told me about that guy who was 13 inches and you were like, I want more? You know what I mean? Something like that. And that should get him to shut up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. Or just go tell him, go talk to your friends, not me. Like, what the hell?
Nah, I know.
Or maybe the son should be saying something. That seems like common sense. Like, hey,
that's true. I'm sure the son says too much. In fact, the father probably knows all the secrets.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he probably looks at her in a different way. So, yeah, all right. We're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We're going to be back to give you all the information for the event that's happening this Saturday at the Slaughterhouse that will feature Weirdo Jello Wrestling, her girlfriend. All that more coming up. Keep it right here. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. All right. You want to see if your headphones work now, Fred? I noticed that you were kind of here. Can you hear this? Can you hear me in the headphones?
No.
There's a volume button underneath. And do you know if the headphones are plugged in?
There you go.
There it is. All right. So
Rick, someone say creepy streamers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Rick. But yeah, hola and good morning and welcome. Everybody here who's on the stream. So would you say that advice was good advice, or would you give alternative advice to this girl who was dealing with the creepy father-in-law? I'm asking Jordan and Fred.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the advice is good advice. Yeah, throw it back.
Yeah, fire or fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, because if you've told somebody that something makes you uncomfortable and they're not willing to change, sometimes I do agree that you got to rise to that same level.
Yeah.
Petty. You got to get petty.
You got to get petty.
Gotta get petty.
You fight pettiness with pettiness.
Exactly.
It works. So the Saaf organization, it raises money for AIDS research, and is it just the research, or is it also supplies and resources for people who are suffering with HIV and AIDS?
So we do have lots of other programs and services that help the community. So
Okay.
we do from housing to primary care.
Yeah.
To like a syringe access program, and then care for people that have been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
And also education and prevention
Correct.
as well. Because my ties with Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation actually goes back like 15 years. I did an ad campaign for the I Work Hard but I Play Safe campaign.
Right.
That we did with Scott.
You're
Is
still
it
up in the,
still?
yeah. I walk by it every day and
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it's weirdo.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, I was on bus benches.
Yeah.
So fancy. My mom made a point of like, she found one near her work and she's like, we're going to go drive over there and you're going to sit on the bench. And I'm going to get a picture. I'm like, all right. So long ago. But yeah, I mean, that was one thing that like piqued my interest when I, saw the Jello Wrestling years ago. But like, I know y'all do like such good work and like, and just in the caretaking and compassion as well, which is a huge angle of it.
Yeah, nice. And how long you been with the organization, Jordan?
I'm actually less than a year. So I used to skate for Tucson Roller Derby. And so I volunteered with Saaf for specific events that we partnered up for. And then I left corporate America and was like, it's time to do something meaningful, and applied at Saaf. I was in the housing department for a little while, and now I'm actually transitioning over to development. So I will be doing things like Jello Wrestling and AIDS Walk and all the fun stuff. So.
Nice. Yeah. And so you're help putting together the Jello Wrestling event. You're not participating as a wrestler.
You don't want to see that.
I mean, let's agree to disagree. But, let me pull out the website here. So out of the 6 matches that you have lined up for this Jello Wrestling extravaganza, now, is this the first, or is this an annual event?
This is an annual event. This
Okay.
is the 33rd.
33 years in a row that you've done
doing
Jello Wrestling?
Well, we took 3 years off because of the pandemic. But,
Yeah.
So it should have been the 36th. So we're now at the 33rd. We took it back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's that's how timeless Jello Wrestling is. It really is one of those classic things. It gained popularity in the 70s, I would assume, Animal House or whatever, like college dorm movies, and then it turned into a staple, and one that you could undeniably enjoy no matter what. So
Just some good old family fun.
yeah, and so this is an event. It is.
Family 21 and up.
21 and up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, is it co-ed? What is the deal? Because right now in this situation, we got Weirdo versus her girlfriends, right? So we have that, but we have different matchups.
We do. Yeah. So it could be whomever you'd like to wrestle. That's
right.
Something. Whatever you'd like to do.
Right. I love it. All that inclusion. So beyond the Jello Wrestling, right? What other amenities and entertainment do you have planned for this event?
So it's hosted by Lucinda Holiday, who this is her 30th year of hosting.
Lucinda's an icon around this town, especially.
Right.
She's fantastic, very entertaining.
And so she's brought 6 other performers that will be performing throughout the event also.
Nice.
And then we have a silent auction, and then we have our big grand raffle, which is going to happen, which is the giveaway.
Nice. Yeah. And it's a slaughterhouse too, so it should be big.
At the slaughterhouse.
Yeah. So is it an indoor event or indoor outdoor?
Outdoor.
Okay.
It's an outdoor in their big area. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pictures look pretty good too. I'm gonna pull this up just on the website.
The last time
Tell
we
me
had
about
it
this
there.
raffle though.
Oh, the raffle. So it's 2 tickets to see Pink in October up in Phoenix, a hotel stay, and a gift card, about $100 gift card.
Nice.
Nice.
So tickets are only $5 a piece.
Yeah, only $5 a piece. And we're gonna reiterate that on the air for sure. But yeah, this looks like a good event. It's too bad I can't zoom in on this picture right here. So the Jello setup here is pretty impressive. How much Jello do you have to make? And then after each match, do you have to refill the tub with more Jello? Because it does liquefy, does it not?
It eventually, so we have cut it back quite a bit. We used to make about over 500 gallons of Jello. This year we made close to 300 gallons of Jello. And
it's already made.
It's already made. We have to do it at least 2 weeks ahead so it congeals.
Yeah.
Where do you store it?
So we're lucky that we have a community partner with 17th Street Market.
Oh, okay.
So, but they let us use the fridge.
They let us use the walk-in. Nice.
That's so funny. In their fridge is 300 pounds of Jello.
300 gallons.
Gallons. Yeah. So even more than 300 pounds. That's a lot, actually. I mean, can you guesstimate how much all that Jello weighs?
I don't want to.
Yeah.
300 gallons is how much it weighs.
How many people is it going to take to transfer all that?
So I have a small group of volunteers that go and they pick it up, and then we put it in another truck that will refrigerator that will be in on the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The process behind it, is you have to be very cautious and just storage and transfer to keep it nice, cool, congealed Jello.
It has to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's not an easy feat to accomplish.
2,503 pounds.
Son of a bitch. a lot of
small army to move the Jello.
They're gonna be sore. They're gonna be sore for sure. So at the end of it, and again, this is 33 years. How many years have you done it, Fred?
Good question.
A lot though, right?
A lot. So this
not
is
your first
about
rodeo.
7 years. No, this is my third year. This is my third time back at Saaf. I started again back in December, but so about 7 times.
Okay.
Or less than that, but yeah.
Now, what's the process to clean up the Jello at the end of the event?
So that's a good one. So we have a septic tank that comes in.
Okay.
They have to suck it up.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Oh, just the noises.
You get to hear all that slurping and gurgling.
And sometimes the Jello still congealed, so it's not easy for them to get rid of it. But we love them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I wrestle first?
Isn't that a question that a lot of people want? Right? Is to be able to go in there first before it turns into this. I mean, I understand.
It's a request.
Yeah, it's a request.
It's a good request.
What do you do to predict the lineup or set the lineup? Do you do a drawing?
We have a headliner, Ish, one of our bigger community partners, who's going to come in and wrestle. So we'll put them towards the middle or towards the end of things. Okay. And then I just throw it up in the air and say, okay, this team's going to go first, and this one's going to be able to work the crowd, get the crowd going. And
I had an argument that doesn't help you at all, Weirdo, because I was like, well, Weirdo's on the radio. We're kind of a big deal, a lot of people are starting to listen, but that means you go towards the end. Yeah. And it's your girlfriend that you're wrestling.
No,
Those are all
warm
selling
up the
points.
crowd. We'll warm them up.
I mean, you should in any kind of booking of events like this, from what I've learned from video games, you want to put your best match at the beginning and your best match at the end.
Yes.
So you kind of sandwich it. And then it's like, so even if the middle is shit, it's a shit sandwich, and then people just remember the beginning and the end. So if you want a good start to the, a very aggressive, competitive, these women not only are together and been together, they live together. And so, there's probably some deep-seated aggression in there that is just
going to come out.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a healthy way to deal with your problems.
You loaded the dishwasher wrong.
Yep.
My bad, babe. My bad.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I just realized? I have locks.
Yeah.
How am I going to get gel? I don't wash my hair.
I know.
Get a swim cap and
super. You're gonna look like an alien, but
but I just need a huge condom. It's fine, guys. By the way, good notice. Condoms can help keep you from getting HIV.
Yes, and clean needles and everything at this point. Yeah,
you're gonna end up getting Jello in places you never knew you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Love you.
It's for a great cause. It is for a great cause. We're going to go on the FM side here in 3 seconds. So no cursing, but we are learning so much right now on the podcast broadcast with our guests. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back. This Saturday, we've been talking about Weirdo, Jello Wrestling, her significant other, her girlfriend, at the Saaf event that's at the Slaughterhouse this Saturday. It's a 33rd annual event. Fantastic nonprofit organization is putting together this fundraiser entertainment night, spectacular, with live entertainment and, of course, the Jello Wrestling. And we found out about how they make the Jello, how much Jello it takes to put on an event like this. It's 2,500 pounds. How they transfer it, and even how they get rid of it at the end, which is disgusting. And now there's more questions than answers because, with Weirdo with her dreadlocks and not washing her hair, she just realized in real time that she's screwed. You're going to be coming in on Monday with a shaved head.
No, absolutely not. No, just, it'll be a little crusty. It'll be fine.
Oh, just a little crusty.
We do have a shower tent there also.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
We may be able to auction you off and have people hose you down. Hose you down.
I would totally do that.
Yeah, for the cause.
I mean, she is going to be a moneymaker for your organization. Yes, And so tickets for this are only $5, right? So
no, tickets to the event are $25 and $30 at the gate.
Okay, 25 and then 30 at the gate. What was the $5? The raffle tickets we were talking about?
Yes, the raffle.
Okay, so there's going to be raffle. You're doing a live auction as well?
Silent auction.
Silent auction. Yeah. So tons of goodies and giveaways if you want to score that. All of it goes for a great organization, with Saaf. And Saaf does so many things for the community, beyond just HIV and AIDS awareness, but, housing and just really funding people in need for the community and stuff. So I know that the organization has a fantastic reputation. You guys have been putting in good work for many, many years. And Lucinda Holiday. Yeah, is hosting the event. And Lucinda is a local celebrity who's been doing this event forever as well, right?
For 30 years.
For 30
this
years.
Is her 30th anniversary.
Yeah, and this is the 33rd anniversary, and that's not counting COVID, right? So it would have been 36. So this thing started, let's see if my math is right, like 1985, 1986?
Yes.
1987?
Yes.
It's got to be one of those.
1987, because I just turned 37. I was born in 86.
Okay.
So there we go.
Fair enough. There you go.
So,
birthday math always works.
87. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And there are a few things in this world that are timeless, but Jello Wrestling is definitely one of those things that is absolutely timeless. I feel like
it sticks with you.
It does stick with you. In fact, yeah, she'll have Jello on her for weeks to come. She'll be reminded about the Jello Wrestling. But I feel like you could pull off this event.
Like sand.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, I feel like you could pull off this event as a selling point in 1975 or 2075. I think it's going to have the same appeal. You're instantly intrigued. And is it difficult to get people to volunteer to Jello Wrestle?
No, actually, we've had a great, what do you call it? People want to.
Great
it's
response.
Been gone great response. So people, we haven't done this in 3 years, so people have been asking to bring Jello back, and so the volunteers have been there and the participants. So it's fantastic.
With the wrestling, I know these are all one-on-one matchups, right?
Depends on the team. You can have a team up to 6.
Okay.
If you wanted to, you can do a tag team kind of
like a
thing.
free-
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, let's talk professional wrestling, Fred. Like, let's spice up these cards. So you, of course, you got your opening match, you got your headliner, and now I think tag team matches would be fantastic. A triple threat would be really cool. Hell, even do a ladder Jello wrestling match if you really want to spice it up. Those are all like good selling points as well. Now I was already excited. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I'm over the top. So let's break down this card for our listeners out there. What they can expect when they join us at the Slaughterhouse on Saturday for this event. Who's gonna be on this Jello Wrestling bill, and then who are the entertainers that'll be performing alongside Lucinda?
So Lucinda, Lady Ashley will be there.
Okay.
Black Widow, if I can remember, and I know Vera Del Mar is another person that will be there. And then on who's wrestling, well, we have Weirdo, who's going to be.
Oh yeah,
your partner.
Weirdo and Scarlet, the dynamic unicorn duo.
Oh well, you guys aren't a team. You guys are opponents. Yeah, this is a grudge match, and a winner gets to bang a partner of their choosing later that night.
I mean, that happens anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of our great community partners at the TCC, Kate Calhoun, who manages all of the rental there stuff. She is our headliner along. She's wrestling her sister also.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I love it.
So,
yeah. Well, cheers to 33 plus years, and cheers to many more. And I hope you raise a ton of money this Saturday. They are going to be raffling off tickets for Pink with a hotel stay as one of the grand prizes, tons of other goodies that are going to be there. You can get more information. Food trucks. Yeah. It's just a full-blown party. Lots of entertainment. Yeah. Go there to have a good time, spend some bucks, raise some money for a great organization. Information for this event is at saaf.org. So saaf.org, saaf.org. It's happening this Saturday. Go support Weirdo and everyone at the Saaf organization. Jordan, Fred, thank you guys so much for coming on the air.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. Can't wait to hang with you guys Saturday.
Thank you.
No worries.
And next year you're wrestling, right?
Yeah.
We'll just already get that
Maybe. I mean, do we all have to wear thongs? I don't know. There's stuff that will come out the sides. You don't want to see that.
You will have to wear pasties.
All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. And there we're going to hit the reset. When we come back, we're going to have musician Decker joining us on the podcast broadcast. Going to debut some new music. He's a good friend of mine. He's fantastic. You guys, OG streamers, you know who he is. He'll be performing at Hotel Congress this Friday. So we got a jam-packed weekend. I hope that you join us all the way through it. I'll be back with your TMI Top 5 and more after this. It's Rock 1 2.1. Yeah, that's a lot of words. That was a word salad. I was like, got to get all this in.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 plug, bam. Is there anything else that we didn't get to that we want to mention?
Is there going to be a live stream or like any videos that'll be posted after? Or is it just kind of people who use their phones and they post it themselves?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to be, first off, you got to be
We're not
there.
that too technical.
Yeah, so Rick, we don't want you live streaming it because we don't want you like jerking it while watching it. You know what I mean? And there's going to be people there that you got to keep your hands out.
I will live stream from my Facebook. Rick is blocked. So good. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, but I mean, if we did set up like a Patreon account, which eventually maybe that'll be the case, then there'll be bonus videos that will only be for subscribers. And this seems ideal in that situation, right?
This will be the beta test of it.
Yeah. But, is that something it's actually a valid question. So something in the future you may want to even consider to raise more money outside of this market.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be able to live stream a Jello Wrestling show. People are going to pay for that. So you're on to something, and I hope that you break some records this year. Do you know what the record is for money raised in one event?
In 2019, the last year it happened, we raised 45,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
To raise 45,000.
Yeah. So, that's the bar. And hopefully you exceed it even more so. You got $1 million talent in Weirdo, that's for sure.
Right. And I believe they're setting me up with a web page that I'll be posting to my social medias later. So that way people can directly go there and donate towards, me and Scarlett's little match.
Yes.
You say little match, but it's going to get
It's going to be a
brutal.
big, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, honestly.
I am terrified because in a non-sexual way, I promise, I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
She has used those wrestling moves on me, and I'm like, I can't move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm pretty sure I'm stronger than you, but I'm also little. She's 3 inches taller than me.
Derby commands at you while you're doing it. We're like, change your shape and move your feet.
Right. Yeah. Just throw the derby terminology out there.
I got you.
Yeah.
Don't worry
I'm like,
about
I'm just gonna lay here. I'm done.
Take it. Yeah.
I love it.
Your first shock will be how cold it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I am kind of betting on your partner. I think, I think she has it, and I think we're definitely going to get some side bets going on if that's okay. I mean, I'll donate a portion of my winnings to the organization. I think that's only fair. And then I guess we'll shout out for VIP tickets as well, right? I forgot to do that on the air, but I could do that here in a little bit. So. I'm gonna send an invite to Brandon, but thank you guys for coming in. I'm gonna hit the reset here, and then unfortunately I double booked, and that's my fault because I'm an idiot.
It happens.
Yeah.
We all do it.
But I'm glad you guys came in early because then we got good airtime and stuff.
Right.
So
And it ended up working out really well.
yeah. And now we'll continue to reiterate the information, and we'll give away VIP tickets in 9 o'clock hour, and we'll shoot that information to you too.
And then if anybody would like to purchase a VIP ticket, those are available also, and that includes 2 raffle tickets and VIP entrance into High Wire, which is they're having the after party
Nice
for us, and then $10 in Reno Gannon money. It's like Monopoly money that we use there.
Okay.
So if people don't bring cash to tip or to purchase stuff, they can buy it from us, and we'll give them this Monopoly money, and they can go do whatever.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I doubt any of the Jello wrestlers are going to be at the after party, because
You
you're all
never
just covered
know.
in sticky and
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna what was our other partners? Like they're gonna be there to cheer us on. My husband's already threatened to make signs.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll tell you this right now though. If I Jello wrestled at next year's event and I lost, you would never see me again.
That would be the end of your career.
I would call it a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, and I gotta move to somewhere in the middle of Wisconsin.
Yeah. I would have. All right, never mind. I'm thinking of the possibilities. Hit me up 6 months before your next event to mull over it and find some worthy opponents. And then potentially you could add me to your lineup next year. Okay, Fred?
I remember.
I mean, we could potentially wrestle each other, but I could see the bosses being like, no, this is a lawsuit that's going to happen. Absolutely not.
That's true. But I would prefer like 1 to 2 females to wrestle against because I'm a crude animal. So,
yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm. You say that, and then they're going to kick your butt.
I know.
That'll be
I know.
It. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll
okay.
volunteer.
All right.
Are we allowed to like DDT? Like, let's go.
I'll see. I don't hurt him. And I would go to those go-to moves. You know, I mean, I grew up a wrestling fan. It's kind of ingrained in my memory, and it's not good. I don't want to give you a stunner in the Jello, Jordan. You know?
Batista bomb, and then it's done.
F5, it's fine.
You don't want to be
The
frog
people's
splashed
elbow,
by
yeah.
me.
It's just Beef running around going like this the entire time, not touching. He's like, I can't see me.
Yeah.
I'll give you a Rikishi stink face. You know? You don't want that either. I'm telling you. Fred, Jordan, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. This was our show open this morning. We're going to have Decker on the flip side of that. Keep it right here on the podcast.
Real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, June 21st. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. A couple minutes late this morning. Had to get things together. Had a last-second emergency that I had to handle and then make my way through the Dunkin' and stuff. I have an issue with I don't know what's wrong with me mentally. Every now and then, actually, for the past couple of years, I always feel like whoever's working in the Dunkin' window has like a crush on me, wants me.
Okay.
So, yeah. In this situation, it's coming on super strong. Now,
what's his name?
yeah, that's funny. But yeah, there's a very cute girl who sometimes, I mean, I am a creature of habit, right? So I get the same thing every morning as I get going, it's part of the routine.
Right.
And so, as lately when I've been going through, if this girl sees my car, I pull right up and she's like, says my order before I could even tell it to her. And I'm just like, oh, whoa. And then the other day she's like, so you're going to go to the new location? I'm like, what new location? And she's like, well, we're going to have a new location on River and whatever. And I'm like, oh, why are you going there? She's like, yeah, I'm going to transfer there. I'm like, oh. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to bring you through one of these days. You live right down the street from me,
yeah,
and you're just gonna have to see what the interaction is and see if I'm way off, because I feel like the Dunkin' chick is fully giving me the full court press, and
Yeah, but if I'm in the car with you, she might make an assumption of oh, he finally brought his girlfriend.
No, I'll be like, that's my friend. This is my friend. She's married and got a relationship. Not with me though. It's just my friend. There you go. I would awkwardly oversell it. It's just just my blood sister, actually. You see the relation? I'm not having sex with her. What's up?
How you doing, girl?
Yeah. I do like my Dunkin'. I mean, if it's all right. Well, anyways, so that's just a side note. The top story this morning is still that of the missing submarine that the billionaire is on. And I know you haven't heard of this story here at Weirdo. It started breaking later on Monday night.
Okay.
Here's the deal. There's this company that basically was selling underwater tours of the Titanic. Okay. Now the problem with this company is that it was very makeshift in its submarine. It would go down 12,500 feet in the ocean, but it was a submarine that could only fit 5 people, the captain and 4 passengers. Okay. The 4 passengers would have to sit Indian style on the ground in this very cramped space, no seats, no nothing. There is one little bathroom on there. And then the submarine was literally steered by a video game controller. It was a Logitech controller that they modified. And this is how the quote unquote captain would steer the submarine, 2 miles underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is obviously a little weird. And on this trip, they would sell tickets to be on this submarine for up to $250,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, big money business, right? Which attracted big money clients. One of those clients is a billionaire named Hamish. Hamish is an adventurer who loves to do exotic things, right? So
Right.
he was one of the billionaires who went with Jeff Bezos up in space.
Okay.
He was one of those guys, and then he wanted to go to the depths of the ocean as well, see all the things that normal men can't see, right? And so he planned on buying this ticket. He was going to bring his billionaire friend, but his billionaire friend was doing research and talking with the company before the expedition. And before the expedition would even take off, he's like, you know what? I'm out. Give me a refund. You guys are cutting way too many corners.
Right.
This seems completely unsafe. And he tried to convince Hamish, like, hey, these guys, it's a janky operation, and they're just basically cutting corners. And when you're dealing with the depths of the sea and the elements and the danger factor here, there's just too many risks for me to put myself in this situation. Now, Hamish, a very trustworthy billionaire, apparently was like, okay, well, you're out, but I'm still in. I need to see that Titanic, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an actual quote. Now, okay, so about an hour and 45 minutes on their descent, they lost contact, right? So there was no interaction, and they would communicate through text message. So that was essentially another red flag. But for whatever reason, they lost contact with the home base, and the home base started to get worried. After a few hours, it got extremely worried, and there was no sign of them whatsoever. So then they put out, an alert, and now they were missing. Now the deal is with this submarine, there was at the time 72 hours of oxygen. Okay, that was on Monday. All right, now on Wednesday there are around less than 24 hours of oxygen left.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Now, of course, a lot of experts were, predicting probably worst case scenarios, saying, hey, this might be a situation where it's not a rescue mission, but it's a search and recover mission, because it's a submarine going under. There could have been any kind of technical issues, and if there was a leak, that'd be catastrophic. The thing could literally just implode from the pressure.
Yeah,
that would have been catastrophic as well, and that's a potential. So there's all these theories that were floating. But of course, there is a billionaire on board, so all the resources known to man are currently being deployed to try to find and rescue these people. And the good news is, there is good news. There is potential signs of life. They may be stuck, right? They may actually be stuck inside the Titanic or somewhere around there.
Okay.
Because every 30 minutes, sonar radar is picking up loud banging noises.
Okay.
So, this is one of those theories that, okay, if they are stuck in there, the best case scenario for them is the bang on the walls, literally as much as they can, because they know that sonar will be able to pick it up. They're basically saying, help, SOS, here we are. Now they have that. They hear loud banging happening in an area of the ocean every 30 minutes or so. So they feel like that is a sign of them being alive and them being stuck, and they kind of pinpoint where that sound's coming from, which is good news.
Yeah, but how the hell are they going to get them out?
There's the issue, right? So, they sent their last chance rescue machinery that was flown in to a Canada airport on a huge U.S. cargo plane, but now it faces a 15-hour race across the Atlantic. All right. And then once it goes across the Atlantic, then it has to go down a couple hours, try to find it, and then get it up in time. So there's a lot, so many different factors.
And you can't come up too fast either.
Yes.
Yeah, I just remember like all the making of the Titanic with James Cameron, and like watching them descend and everything, and like that just looked
Yes, no, it is terrifying, and a lot of people in the right mind would never even get on this thing, even if it was going 20 feet underwater. But
yeah, I'm too claustrophobic for that.
So, but that is the lead story. It would make for a hell of a movie potentially if they survive, and we'll see. But there is potential that they can survive and that they are alive. And my eyes are on this story as it develops throughout the morning. And maybe there'll be a conclusion before the end of the show, but maybe it'll be a conclusion tomorrow morning. But that is still a pretty huge thing that's happening in the middle of the Atlantic right now. And again, don't be somebody's $250,000 guinea pig for their little side hustle. That is a makeshift submarine.
The remote control thing. That's
That's one of the many red flags, which we'll break down a little bit later. All right, let's get this show.
Let's
get this thing going here. We got your morning far. We had like a jam-packed, supersized we got podcast broadcasts, and that's because I inadvertently double booked, but I'm glad I did because we had our guest from the Saaf organization in earlier, and I'd like to welcome you to the podcast broadcast for the very first time, but not the first time you guys seen him because I've played videos of Decker many, many times. I got Brandon Decker here live on the podcast broadcast. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very good. Now, Decker is going to be performing with another friend, Carlos Ezrati, at Hotel Congress this Friday. It's fantastic. It's just one of my favorite live shows that he always puts together. Just so much quality. We're going to be talking with Brandon about a lot of stuff. The new album, which is such an epic collaboration of fantastic musicians and artists. To coordinate this and to be the maestro of this is impressive to anyone who understands what it took to put this together, right? So, I mean, it's pretty sick. How many people did you have perform with you on this album?
15. There were 16 of us on the record. But the really, I think, astounding part was that we did it in 2 days. We made this full record in 2 days. All live, no overdubbing. We all played at the same time in the same room. Good morning. I don't know your co-host's name, Beef.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Hi,
so
Weirdo.
Rude. Yeah, this is Weirdo.
I've known Beef since we used to do this in his living room. It looks like you're in a nicer spot now.
It looks nicer, but we call this the broom closet. And, we kind of got the short end of the stick as per usual. And, all the resources that I had in my living room, I had less when we started this little experiment that's been working out for the company. Very, like what? Do me a favor, Decker, turn your phone sideways so we get you full screen. Okay. And we're going to go on the FM side to do a tease. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We are joined here via satellite by my good friend I go back over a decade with, who's performing at Hotel Congress this Saturday. He's an artist that goes by the name Decker. Got Brandon Decker. Good morning again. As I know, I just introduced you to Weirdo because I'm so rude, but
whatever.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. I think your name should be Weirdo, Beef.
I know. Well, in a way it is. So she's, I don't even know if she's real or she's just a projection of my subconscious. That's the female.
That's what I was thinking about the Dunkin' Donuts girl.
Yeah. Oh, you heard about that too. There's been developments in that too. I'll tell you on the podcast broadcast. So here's the deal with Decker. We're going to go down the rabbit hole of making of this new album that's fantastic. A work of art. It really is a beautiful album from beginning to end. We're going to debut the lead single here on the radio for our single song takeover and talk about their show that's happening at Hotel Congress this Friday with Carlos Ezrati and the Kind Souls as well. So all that and more on the podcast broadcast. Your TMI Top 5 coming up after Jelly Roll. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so clear. So that was the FM side, and now we're back on the podcast side where we could say fuck.
We could say all the podcast words.
I thought I heard a fuck in there and was confused.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a couple. We let a couple slip, but yes, Decker and I go way back. One of my core artists that we've worked together on numerous events. He's always been one of my best in studio performers, hands down.
I'm the only one of Beef's core artists he supported that didn't make it.
That is not true. That's not true. And you continue to make it in different ways and put out timeless music. And I'm gonna give the audience, and it's a privilege to be able to do this, a prime example. Go outside our playlist a little bit and show a work of art like this album. I'm very proud of you for this album. And everyone that participated. I know a lot of the players that jumped in and jammed with you. They're just all fantastic musicians, part of the scene up in Phoenix. And I can't even imagine I put together teams, that, but the magnitude of pulling off such an ambitious project and being able to execute it, right? How long was the process of getting people caught up before you even went into the studio to try to bang it out in 2 days?
So I'd written this album in the late summer 2021 and kind of hatched this plan that all I knew was I wanted to make an album in 2 days. It's my 8th album. I've spent a lot of time in studios, and I enjoy spending time in studios, but it's, it's a different kind of flow than making music. I mean, it's like a lot of sitting around and like a lot of doing these takes over and over. And I just wanted to go in and make music quickly. So what made that more complex was that I also knew that this batch of songs was going to need strings, horns, and a choir. So it was like, okay, so where do we go? How do we do a 16-piece ensemble and go record it like that? So that was where the studio that we did it in LA came up. It was Bob Hoag's idea, who we've worked with a bunch. And so we took it out to the studio in LA called East West, which I'm fond of saying, everybody from Frank Sinatra to Kendrick Lamar have made records. It's where Frank Sinatra made, My Way and New York, New York. I mean, Chili Peppers did Californication there. Thriller was made there. Pet Sounds. It was a huge studio.
Legendary.
Legendary. I mean, it's like the Abbey Road of the United States.
Yes. We're going on the FM side as well, and we're continuing what we're saying here, but let's do this. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That was Jelly Roll with Need a Favor, as we're hanging out here with Decker on the podcast broadcast stream, talking about the recording process of the latest album, which they recorded at the East West Studio, legendary studios in Los Angeles, where she was saying everything from Frank Sinatra's My Way to Michael Jackson's Thriller to Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication was filmed at that studio. So a legendary, I'm sure, expensive studio. What do the walls look like all around that place?
The walls, I couldn't say, Beef. I couldn't say. They look.
You didn't see plaques and things like that, where it's just
no. I mean, the place really was. I mean, it's this old building that's probably been modified a few times, but I mean, really, it's about business in there. You could feel the energy in there for sure. Like out of the group of people I had, I don't think anyone in there wasn't excited and impressed to be in there.
Yeah.
You could feel the energy of all of the things that had been made there. But no, they didn't have a lot of trophies up. I mean, it was a place that was about people making music, not talking about how great their past was.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense too. When you are a legit iconic studio, a historic studio, then I guess you don't have to humble brag or flex about it. People know what they're walking into. And we're talking about the very ambitious, and this is what I love about this, and this is for all my musician friends that are listening as well. You could do things DIY in a strong way, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Decker is an independent artist, all right, and put together this very ambitious project and took almost 20 musicians to the studio in LA to record an album in 2 days and record it all live, and to create this process, and the end results of that, mind-blowingly good. And we're going to share a lead single called Mojave off of that album here in a little bit. But yes, that is just to be able to pull that off. It's just, again, my hat's off to you, dude.
And where did all the musicians come from? Like, did they come from around just Arizona or nationwide?
It was. So I live in Sedona, Arizona. Most of the musicians were from Phoenix, although there was one from LA, but she's a Phoenix transplant. A woman named Holly Pyle, really talented singer. And then we had a violin player that was out of Ashland, Oregon, that the producer really wanted on the project. But it was mostly Phoenix people. So we all hauled out there, rented a couple Airbnbs. I mean, Beef, you don't even know how. I mean, it's like more than ambitious. It was stupid. It still was stupid.
The logistical nightmare alone for just the calendar.
And the cost and everything. It's like, it's bad enough that you put up the cost for a band. A normal band's 4 to 5 people, right? To put up an Airbnb, and you're doing an entire lineup.
I had to rent 2 houses and 2 bands, and was buying a lot of lunch while we were in there.
Yeah,
but I like I'm old enough. I try to keep my people happy. So there's a lot of debt. There's a lot of debt on this thing.
You're like, weird. 2 days. How did we end up with 17 lunch breaks?
I know. So we have a lot that we're going to cover with Decker here ahead of their performance this Friday at Hotel Congress. We're going to give you all that information as well. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan for the live stream, as I'm going to play an old school performance that I had of Decker's in studio, just to refresh some OG streamers of our tenure and our relationship and how far it goes back. And then when we return on the FM side, my single song takeover is going to be the lead single off Decker's fantastic album. The name of the album again is
You're a Burros.
You're a bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you echoed a little bit. So
You're a Burros.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was like, well, this is so artistic, and then you named it Euro Bro.
Euro Burrows.
Euro Burrows. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole with Decker more on the podcast broadcast and on the flip side of our FM side. You keep it right here. Join us youtube.com/beefvegan. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna get ready and to go into Mojave, but I've had your performance of Patsy, which again is
I love that.
Yeah, favorite performances that I've had.
So good.
I had it uploaded. Hold on. Someone keeps trying to call on the phone. So let's see what we got.
Oh, maybe it's the Dunkin' Donuts girl.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. There's developments on that. Rock 1 2x1. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Nick. Where's your guys' Florida man at?
Oh, we don't do Florida Man every day.
I've been waiting for a week. You guys play I Need Some Gravy by Jelly Roll more than you do Florida Man.
Nah. Well, we did actually do it on Monday. Did we not, Weirdo? We did a Florida Man story on Monday.
On Monday.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I do have a shit ton of Florida Man stories because it's been a busy week for Florida. So we will squeeze in a Florida Man segment before the end of the show this morning, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries, brother. All right, I'm getting requests. And normally I don't humor requests, but that's what we're doing here. All right, so I'm going to pull this up. Is that Taylor right there? I think it's this one. I believe it's this one.
I definitely have it on my YouTube page.
Well, I have a YouTube as well, but I mean, I literally have it files to sound off. Let's see if this is the one. And, again, with this song, Patsy, the backstory is kind of like Lee Harvey Oswald, right? But the performance here that Decker does escalates as the song progresses. And then at the end, I still remember, and I still kind of get this kind of like euphoric goosebump feeling of, when an artist fully commits and is in the moment, in the zone, and in that is a part of the song that they're performing. It's a rare sight to see sometimes in these kind of settings. And this is one of those occasions where it's like fucking magic. And it was good. And in a lot of ways, his live acoustic performance is preferred to me over the studio version, which is still a fantastic version. I know you love hearing that too. But
I'll take all accolades.
all right. Well, here's a reminder. This is Patsy from Decker. Check it out.
Well, Patsy came about. The album was called Patsy, but did you name the album before you made the album? I named the album when there was like 3 songs. I was like, okay, we're gonna make this album Patsy. Okay. I gotta write some songs. And why? Why Patsy? Well, it came to me in a vision. Seriously, not like all hokey. I was like, I'm gonna make this album Patsy. Were you like hiking on a Sedona Trail when this vision hit you? I wasn't hiking a lot back then. I was more drinking. Okay, drinking on a Sedona Trail. No. Okay. Just in my, dark room. And what's Patsy mean to you? Well, Patsy's about how we're all played a fool, but I mean, not even necessarily in some sort of cruel way. It's just like life kind of socks us around a bit, I mean, right. That's what happens in life. You get, I think even the most coddled feel the pain of being a living creature. Our lives are reactive, and how does that all pan out? Some ways, some people it's a lot darker than others, and right. Some people are able to rise to the challenge. So it's kind of tales of the everyman. But I think more specifically on the people really, really grinding at life. Being grinded by it. Well, that's the perfect introduction. Let's get into it. Decker live and TMI with Patsy.
They would say I'm an angry man, I was a lonesome man, but I'm just a hungry man. Look at me, the bewildered one. I am a Soviet, I am the powerless. Here I am, proletariat. I'm not a tortured man, I am the everyman. Made my decision and my deed is done. I am the bastard son, I'll kill everyone. Never better over there, never better over here, never better anywhere. Made my decision and I'm through. It's all over now for me, it's all over for you. Heroic man, but he was a privileged man. He was an aristocrat. Unfinished life, well, it's over now. I am the chosen one. We bled for everyone. Never better over there, never better over here, never better anywhere. Made my decision and I'm through. It's all over now for me, it's all over for you.
Then now we're back. That was live in my house. Decker on Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back. If you were joining us on the podcast broadcast stream, you just heard or saw the live in studio performance I had from Decker way back in the day of their song Patsy, which again, still one of my favorite all-time in studio performances through all the artists that I've had perform in studio, signed and unsigned. And it gave Weirdo goosebumps too.
Yeah, I really love live music in any form. Like obviously I love my metal, my hard rock, but like that kind of, I love it. It was good.
Yeah. What do you feel like when you watch a video like that again? Because that's going on a decade old, dude.
Yeah, it took me down memory lane. The first thing that I thought when I was watching it was I was really taken by that philosophy that I was sharing there, because I couldn't disagree much more with what I was so confidently saying about life. Like I said, life is reactive, and all these things, and I feel a lot differently about life then. But I think that's why for me as an artist, like I seldom play things from old records, because it's like, for me, making art is this kind of transmutation of who I am as a person and a being. And so, like as the albums get more distant, I don't identify with what was being brought forth so much.
Yeah.
I've come kind of full circle with Patsy. We started playing that again recently, but we hadn't played it for years, because I didn't identify with, kind of, I guess, who I was when I was singing it. But it was cool to see it.
To that. Yeah, no, I can relate to that too. I mean, as someone who used to write songs, sometimes you write a song in a moment of a feeling, and then to perform that, you kind of have to tap back into that feeling. And then as you grow, you kind of heal from that, and you're like, I don't relate to it anymore. I don't have that same feeling.
Right.
I'm glad that you're bringing it back though, because it is a beautiful piece of work, and I'd love to hear it this Friday at Hotel Congress. Now, here's something, a little fun fact for you, Decker. Things have been going well here on Rock 102.1 for the Beef Vegan Presents show, and I have irritated my management along the way from day one, actually. And I would do some.
I expect nothing less out of you.
Exactly. Right. So I'm known to take liberties with the playlist from time to time, which is a big no-no. And so they said, hey, look, if you stop making our life a living hell, we'll give you a compromise. We will allow you to play one song of your choosing each and every day in the 9 o'clock hour. And I dubbed that the single song takeover. And it doesn't have to be a song that would necessarily fit our format. And this song is beautiful. It definitely doesn't sound like Shinedown. Right. And I do want to take the opportunity to play your song, Mojave, off of your latest album that you're going to be able to hear this Friday at Hotel Congress as my single song takeover. Okay. Again, remind us the name of the album where everyone can get it.
Euroboros. It's available everywhere online. Spotify, Apple, all the usual suspects. And also through our label, Royal Potato Family out of Kingston, New York.
Nice. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the single song takeover today for you is Decker, Mojave. Turn it up. And I'm going to listen to it right now, too. See, it's a banger.
I think the end of this song is fully worthy of KFMA presence.
Yeah. Right. In fact, actually, I'm going to turn this up to the speakers. We're going to be back with more with Decker and everyone else. Earlier this morning, we did a segment. And which one am I pulling up? This one. Here's the Sex Championship Gale. Song 30 years now, right? I still don't even know what he says after soul. No, I'm a loser, baby. It's literally been 30 years. I haven't searched the lyrics. I just don't know what he's saying, but it sounds good. It just much like Pearl Jam songs. There's so many songs that we know and love, and we sing along, and we don't understand what they're saying.
Mumble through it.
I think it's something in Spanish.
So yeah, okay, that's how it goes. Remember when I told you about the Sex Championship that was happening in Europe? Yeah, so I got an update on that. They actually held it.
Oh, how did it go?
Oh, well, it was a catastrophic failure. Yes. And much like everyone who attended it, we could have seen that coming. Now, here's what happened. Apparently, we told you about this 2 weeks ago when the strip club owner was starting an inaugural World Sex Championship, and the competition has ended, and reports say the event was a resounding flop. So not only did contestants complain about getting screwed out of money, but the entire spectacle was described as a low-budget Big Brother and out of control. So just imagine, it's like this strip club owner gets like a mansion or a bigger house, puts a bunch of voyeur cams everywhere, and then just has a bunch of sex workers go in there, and you apply them with alcohol and drugs and say, just start humping like rabbits.
Yeah.
That's what the competition was. Selva was one of the 16 contestants, said it was chaos and it turned into a horror film. Yeah. Now it's not all negative because the Croatian porn star Margia, I can't say the name, the self-proclaimed winner of the event, said it was great and that she'd like to happen again sometime, so she wants to do it again. Now, as far as the organizer, Dragon, it's all these weird European porn names. I love it. He said many of the competitors ignored the rules. They brought alcohol to the house. They did not act like sportsmen. I'm sorry. Are you supposed to shake hands after an orgy or not make eye contact and not touch each other at all? And then therefore they were disqualified from the competition. At least one contestant, a 24-year-old, has announced legal action is planned to get the compensation she says she's owed. So again, it's a sticky situation, and which we knew was going to happen in this realm, but the first ever and potentially last ever World Sex Championship is finally concluded with our winner, Marjora Zagarak, or whatever.
I mean, I was real hopeful, but
well, I mean,
as is life, disappointed.
Again, yeah. When you went in there, I get what's the best case scenario? That it's chaos that turns into a horror film. Is that the best case scenario?
Somebody's into it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And as far as all that video and stuff, is it on the internet? There's a lot of questions to be asked, but the Daily Star has the full story if you want to read up on the flop that was the World Sex Championship. All right, we got your tickets to give away from Mammoth WVH. That's coming up here in just a few minutes, so keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1. Yes, it's Beef Vegan Presents. That is Decker with Mojave, and Decker is our in-studio guest, technically, on the podcast broadcast. Fantastic, layered, beautiful. Starts off with a rockabilly vibe. It just straight up rock and roll and in your face. Fantastic song. Again, so many layers. How many musicians performed on this song alone, Decker?
Hold on.
Yeah. He's got to
think about it.
Yeah. Should I play some Jeopardy music for you?
10.
10. Wow.
Yeah.
10.
And it's such a grand thing. So when you perform at the Hotel Congress this Friday, and it's a stacked lineup, Carlos Zerati is going to be on the bill as well. It's Club Congress. Doors open, I think, at 7, and the show starts at 8. Am I correct on that?
I think doors 8, show 8:30.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's Friday night. I get to take a power nap and then rage. All right, so how many musicians are going to be performing with you, and is it difficult to try to recreate the sound that you?
Well, that's one of the challenges on this thing. So for the Crescent Ballroom, first release show, we brought everybody out. So we had the 16 of us out there. Down there this weekend, I think we're doing 9 or 10. So
Nice.
Just like one string, one horn, one violin. I think it'll be great. These songs all hold their own without the accoutrements, to some degree.
You still have 9 or 10 people? Are you kidding me? I mean, on that stage too. I mean, it's going to be a wall of sound, just slapping you in the face in the best possible way.
We are going to come win the World Sex Championship of Tucson musically.
Excellent callback. Speaking of segments, we do have a request for our Florida Man story of the week. So let's get into a Florida Man story, shall we? Let's do it. Here's my intro.
Florida man, catch an alligator in the trash can. If you can't do it, no one can. Come on now, Florida man.
All right, so many Florida Man stories. We're gonna start with this. And no, Decker, do me a favor. Turn down the volume on your phone.
Is it me?
I think it is you, but that's okay. All right, so here's our Florida Man story. It came out of St. Petersburg. A 52-year-old man named Jason Johns had been locked up for probation violation that came as the result of his meth arrest. Okay, that's not what makes him a Florida man. Plenty of tweakers and bath salt users in Florida. But what makes him a Florida man is while Johns was locked up, a company called Junk Warriors was called in to clean up his property. Now, thankfully, they also gave a friends and family raid because they ended up hauling away 20 tons of crap from the hoarder's property.
Wow.
He was a tweaker hoarder, a hoarding tweaker. which is unheard of because usually tweakers at least have energy to clean up around the place, you know. But he was, you know, tweaking, going out, grabbing garbage, and then stacking it up in his house. 20 tons of junk inside his house, and he had to be in jail for them to remove it. All right. So, you know, neighbors say they're happy to see the junk get moved, and now they're concerned because they've seen Jason Johns acting irrationally and sifting through garbage cans behind various homes now that he's out of jail, probably trying to recollect the junk to make it feel like home to him.
40,000 pounds.
40,000 pounds, 20 tons, all junk from one tweaker, Florida man, Jason Johns.
Someday soon, seem to me, the Florida will be beneath the sea, passed down through the generations. The legend of Florida man.
Who?
The legend of Florida man.
What?
The legend of Florida man.
I know Decker can hit those high notes too. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. We got more right after this. Clear. All right. Let's see. How's it sounding now? Because you got your AirPods in?
I'm earbudded.
Okay. Yeah. I think you might be good. They say still echoing a little bit. Let's see. Streamers will let me know. I think you sound good right now. I mean, I hear the echo sometimes when we do the bits, but it is what it is. It is what it is. What do you think of my setup, man? Again, you know, we're using technology at its finest. You're in studio without being in studio.
The gifts of COVID. Right?
I know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have been doing this since COVID. And, you know, it did make it easier. Now that we get these like phone interviews, they're not phone interviews anymore. I reject them. If a publicist is reaching out to me saying, hey, can you talk to so-and-so? And they try to say, what's your phone number? Be like, nah, bitch. I'll send you a link. And if I don't see their face, then I'm not talking to them. Yeah. That's not how it works anymore. You know, like I'm trying to move.
I hated the whole Zoom thing so bad. I was like, I was the exact opposite of you. When people be like, after COVID, you know, back when we were like getting together, everyone had gotten used to we're doing Zooms, and they'd be like, okay, I'll send you a Zoom link. And I'd be like, in person or we'll have a phone call. Yeah. I don't want you looking at me in my kitchen. This is my Buddha.
You know, that's
I want you to see how dumb I look.
No, actually, and you got a nice setup. In fact, actually, because I just moved into a new condo, and I'm literally looking for like something like what you have set up, one of those canvases that's separated.
I'll sell you this one for $4,000.
That's out of my ballpark. I look at you trying to make money back on that album. I know.
That's a long way to go, man.
And then credit card bills to pay.
Yeah, no, I know it's got to be insane, dude. But you know, it's an ambitious project, and I think well worth it because as you listen to this album, musically, it veers off in so many different directions. But the running theme is that it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful work of art. The musicianship and the quality of the songs throughout the entire record are really good. It's a really good like driving album, and a lot of Decker's catalog is that as well. So you know, I thought it was ambitious and executed at the same time. Now, did you have Maddie come out and try to record this entire process as well? Are you having
Maddie, as he does, Maddie Steinkamp, my friend from college, and didn't he used to be on the show?
He put together that video that we saw. Yeah, he used to contribute in many different ways. Maddie was definitely, a large. We did some fun things together, and there was a lot of things I couldn't have done without him during the time. So I do appreciate Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie has become a pretty good filmmaker. I mean, he's an excellent filmmaker. He's a wonderful storyteller and cinematographer, editor. But anyway, he came out and made a film called East West, and it's so the album's theme was kind of like it came out of watching my dad die from cancer, and I moved in and was just kind of watched this process over 10 months, and so it was like this album about like grief, death, and transcendence, kind of like, and not so much for me. But it was kind of like this piece of like, how do we all find a way to navigate the losses we find in life that are inevitable? and still be able to have joy and freedom. And so that's what the documentary was about. It was kind of like making this film, but how that was the context to it, more so than like me talking about the record. It was like, you know, how is this record just a piece of inspiration that anyone can use, you know, to get through these tough times we all face.
Yeah. I you know, and that makes me recall watching my stepfather do the same thing. You know, it's a very heavy time, and it's not a quick, you know, it's sudden. Usually like deaths will come out of nowhere, and the grieving process is strong and hard and fast. But yeah, it's such a roller coaster, like grieving while, you know, knowing the inevitable loss is coming, and then watching someone that you love kind of wither away. It's got to be heavy. And, you know, I'm glad that you took something that's so personally painful and turned it into a positive. And, you know, that's essentially just this work of art in general.
It's been real pretty, you know, like I've shared that story in the whole,
that's okay.
In the whole kind of release campaign. And when we got done playing the release show at Crescent, I mean, I must have stood there in line for an hour at the merch booth, one by one, just people coming up and crying and talking about how, you know, this song had impacted, you know, like my dad died, my mom, you know, like, I mean, people just came up and talked to me about loss. And so it felt really validating that the message was landing with people who wanted it or needed it.
Yeah. Very much. Again, we were like Pastor Decker, you know, they're coming out for a full-blown service on Friday. You know, it is a very spiritual type of environment when you feel the power of just the orchestra that you're going to be providing. So I'm stoked. And Carlos is on this bill. Is anyone else? Is it just Carlos and you?
No, then the Senators.
Oh yeah, I got the fucking Senators on here too. The Senators are a fantastic band as well. It's continuing to evolve over time. So yeah, you got yourself a stacked lineup. I'm stoked about this. Club Congress.
It should be good.
Yeah, you doing Club Congress or you doing main stage?
I don't know the difference. We're doing isn't it Club Congress? The back room?
Yeah, well, they have, the back room is Club Congress, and then the main
do they call the patio main stage? No, we're doing inside. I actually like that. Last time we were down there, we did that outside. It's cool, but you know, the one thing I like about Club Congress is that room is so beautiful. And when you get a bunch of people in there, it's an energized place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Patios are kind of like, you know, people are there watching the concert, but they're like, you know, they're having their margaritas.
Exactly. They're sitting at the table, they're trying to get laid, you know, all that shit, you know. I mean, shit, last time I saw you, we were hanging out on the patio Club Congress, right?
And you were trying to get laid.
Yeah, I was talking to wasn't there. You were trying to get laid. You were there. Steph Kepler was there.
Easy.
Reminiscing on the good old days. But no. Well, you play another video here. Yeah, you put together several music videos. Supernova is one that I got pulled up here. Tell me about Supernova.
You know, that one's Maddie's. That's Maddie's. I said, Maddie, we need a video for Supernova right now. And so he put this together, and it was kind of this. It was about this woman who's got talent and you know, like has this dream, but she's like kind of miserable, and then just kind of has that moment of, you know, I'm gonna go chase my dreams. That's what the video is about, as far as I can tell.
Nice. All right. Well, as far as his interpretation, let's check out Maddie Steinkamp's interpretation of Decker's song Supernova. Right?
I hope he's not listening.
Yeah, he is. I'll watch the replay.
If you're alive for a moment, you're alive for a lifetime too. And when we die in this body, still the light of the spirit shines through. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm a real life too. I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm a real life too. If I give you all the love that I can give, then all my love is you. And if my sins are forgiven, then forgiveness is my gift to you. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm a real life too. I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm a real life too. A second-hand shot of dawn in the fires of love. No stopping first on the shores of love. Because of you, I'm walking to you. Because it's time to see right through you. From the past to the present, to the veil of a vision pursued, to the never-ending living, what we seek and what we try to consume. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm a real life too. I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm a real life too. What we think that we thought when we knew we never really had a clue. Such a surprise when you find that it's a lie that you can choose and could lose. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm a real life too. I'm alright, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm a real life too. Second-hand shot of dawn in the fires of love. No stopping first on the shores of love. Doesn't mean I see right to you. Wasn't trying to see right through you. Ride on with the ghost when the storm is done. No stopping first on the shores. Doesn't mean I see right through you. Wasn't trying to see right through you. Ride on with the ghost when the storm is done.
There you go. Directed by Maddie Steinkamp, Supernova by Decker. Welcome back. Are they doing, let's see. Was she about to do the Macarena there, Decker? Do you know?
You'll have to ask Maddie.
That's great, though. I mean, you already got 3 music videos that I seen that you sent. Is there a 4th one, too? You got one from Mojave?
No.
That's the one you don't have? That's like your lead single, you know? You've been pushing this out as, you know, because I was Mojave was the one where it's like, that's the one, you know, that you want to kind of lead with, because it is one of the shorter ones. It's catchy. It's got a good hook. It's, you know, up tempo. And this is the break in, right? I still believe in that philosophy when going to a new station, trying to break into a new market. There's a certain formula that you want to try to do to get program directors and music directors that are going to add songs like their attention and have them take the chance to be like, okay, let's try this out. And I will add this to my playlist when I start my specialty show after my vacation, because I'm going to do a Sunday night show.
Thank God.
I know.
And we got to get that one. We got to get that one. What do you call that? Syndicated. Got to get that one syndicated up into KWSS. We got to get that happening.
Yeah, and well, I actually talked to him about even trying to do the show, you know, the morning show on there as well, and somehow, some way. But they got some other plans right now, which is fine. But who knows what will happen in the future as we continue to try to like expand. But hold on, let's get on the FM side. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA, and we're hanging out with Decker on the podcast broadcast. And just I'm like burping and yawning, not yawning, but just great radio broadcasting stuff. Yeah. We just checked out the music video Supernova. You could, again, watch the entire show if you missed it on demand, youtube.com/beefvegan. And, we only have a few minutes on the FM side before we wrap things up. So, and we're going to do that here in a little bit. So I have some other things we have to get to before we go. And I just want to remind everybody of the fantastic album that Decker put together. And you guys should check it out. And honestly, stream it a billion times so he can make a little bit of his money back. Because
please.
Can you do you want to tell us how much money the guesstimation was or no? Because again, this is, I applaud you because there's not too many people in their life that are so passionate about something they create that they are willing to lay it all on the line and invest and put everything into it, physically and metaphorically, right?
I have spent over $65,000 on the project.
God damn, man.
But that it's funny because realistically, I mean that seems like a lot for an artist like me, but I mean, you think of like Beyonce spends probably $5 million on a music video.
True.
So, I mean, it's all kind of relative to where you're at, but for an independent artist, that was an ambitious project for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the most ambitious that I've come across from an independent artist and all of our circles, so and to put together this much talent in one room. And it says a lot about the quality of work that you're putting together that many other talented musicians will be like, yeah, we'll ride with you. Yes, we'll be on your team and we'll definitely help you with this and want to be a part of this. And you've always done a great job of being that kind of like band leader, cult leader, if you will, or people are I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's go.
I'm grateful, for that component so much. I mean, that was such a big part of the process, was bringing together people that I respect and admire, and just such gratitude I have that they were excited to be a part of the vision. I did a similar thing down in Tucson when I made the Patsy record, actually, with a bunch of Tucson people. We made it down at Wave Lab with Craig Schumacher, and I brought in a lot of epic Tucson musicians.
Yeah,
I probably get at least dozen. I like to do that, and it is an honor to when you get talented people to share their gifts and abilities with you. Means a lot to me.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys could check out a bunch of talented people share the stage at Club Congress this Friday night. Again, the show's going to start around 8. Well, the doors open at 8. Show starts at 8:30. Carlos Roddy's going to be on that bill. The Senator's going to be on that bill. It's headlined by Decker with the 10-piece band that he's bringing down to Tucson. So if you didn't have plans for Friday night, you do now, and I will see you out there. I'm looking forward to it. Decker, as always, a pleasure. Stick around on the stream here. We're going to wrap things up on the FM side and the podcasts, but before we leave you, I'd like to give you a beef tip, okay? If you need an excuse to take a nap, how about use this one? A new study found that nappers tend to have bigger brains. Oh yes, and big-ass heads like me, like bigger brains. Their brains don't shrink as fast as they get older, all right? The more you nap, the smarter you get. So, people are calling you lazy for napping in the afternoon every day. Be like, no, bitch, I'm learning, or at least getting smarter. And when you say no, bitch, it's automatic like win of an argument. So,
is that how that works?
I don't know. Let me nap on it. I'll get back to you tomorrow. But that is your beef tip. Thank you guys for listening. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Check out Decker this Friday. Check out the Saaf organization Jello Wrestling this Saturday at Slaughterhouse. Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of
stream there, Decker, but we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.